Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a plunge into a literary work that, well, it doesn't just ask questions about the future, it kind of screams warnings from the past.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, of course, about George Orwell's uh, chillingly prophetic masterpiece, 1984. Came out back in 1949.
Right, 1949. And it still hits hard.
Oh, absolutely. If you've ever felt that shiver down your spine hearing, Big Brother is watching you, or tossed around terms like thought crime, then you already know just how deeply this novel is, woven itself into our cultural fabric.
It truly has. I mean, this isn't just a story, is it? It's really a foundational text. It paints this terrifyingly vivid picture of a world under absolute, just suffocating control.
Yeah.
Here, reality itself isn't fixed. It's fluid, manipulated daily. And even the most private corners of the human mind, like the very act of thinking, are policed with this ruthless efficiency. It's a vision so potent that it continues to resonate even decades later.
And that resonance is precisely why we're here. Our mission in this deep dive is to unpack the core concepts, maybe dissect the fascinating and, honestly, often tragic characters.
Definitely tragic.
And really illuminate the chilling mechanisms of power that Orwell so brilliantly laid bare. We're going to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge directly from the novel itself, using Orwell's own words to guide us.
Yeah, letting the text speak.
Exactly. Our goal is to understand not just what happens in 1984, but why it happens, and maybe more importantly, why this book continues to feel so profoundly relevant to our world today. So, are you ready to step into Oceania with us?
Let's do it. Brace yourself, though.
Okay, so our journey into this grim reality of 1984 begins, well, like all really immersive stories do, right? With an immediate dive into the protagonist Winston Smith's world.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, from the very first lines, Orwell sets a scene that's both kind of mundanely familiar and deeply fundamentally unsettling. He writes, "It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. 13. Right away, you know something is just profoundly off. Clocks striking 13. That's not how our world works, is it?
Nope, not at all.
That immediate, almost subtle deviation from the familiar, it just signals this fundamental shift in the very fabric of reality.
Yeah.
It's, I think, a brilliant way to establish a world where even time, like the most basic universal constant, is distorted.
It truly is. And the sensory details that follow, they just reinforce this pervasive sense of, squalor and decay. Winston returns to his apartment building, Victory Mansions. Quite the name, huh?
Yeah, Victory Mansion.
And Orwell tells us it smelled of boiled cabbage and old rag mats. Ugh, you can almost feel the grit in the air.
Oh yeah, the cabbage smell.
And the lifts, elevators, a common convenience, they're almost always out of service because of an economy drive. A euphemism, obviously.
Right.
In preparation for something called Hate Week, this recurring manufactured frenzy. So this forces Winston, who's 39, already dealing with this painful varicose ulcer, to trudge up 7 flights of stairs. It's not just drab. It's a constant low-level physical hardship. And this detail, it isn't just color. It's a constant grinding reminder of the party's systemic deprivation. It's designed to wear people down physically and mentally.
And towering over all of it, plastered on every single landing, is that image, the ubiquitous, inescapable image, the enormous face of Big Brother, more than a meter wide, with eyes so contrived that they follow you about when you move. And that caption screaming from beneath it, that constant chilling reminder, Big Brother is watching you.
It's just everywhere.
It's an instant sense of inescapable presence, isn't it? It's not some hidden threat. It's an open, almost mundane fact of life, just woven into the architecture.
What's truly fascinating, I think, is how Orwell establishes this surveillance not as some secret plot, but as an overt, almost normalized thing.
Yeah, it's just...
This isn't just a slogan on a poster. It's a constant, aggressive assertion of the party's control. It's visual, psychological warfare waged daily. You can't escape his gaze, and so you can't escape the party's gaze. It's meant to make you internalize self-censorship and fear.
And nothing embodies that omnipresent control quite like the telescreen.
Yeah.
It's like more than just technology. It feels like a character itself.
Definitely.
You find it in every party member's flat, described as an oblong metal plaque like a dulled mirror on the wall. And what's really chilling, a detail that still gives me shivers, is that while you can dim it,
right, dimming.
There's no way of shutting it off completely. It's always there, always on, always listening, always watching. Imagine that constant hum, that silent, unblinking eye in your own living space. I mean, what does that do to a person over time?
You've hit the core of it right there. The telescreen is Oceano's relentless heartbeat. It's a digital sentinel. It broadcasts this constant stream of information, carefully curated figures on pig iron production, strident military music, patriotic songs, news flashes, all propaganda, basically.
Yeah, just noise.
But its most invasive nature lies in what it demands from you, the individual. You are required to maintain an expression of quiet optimism when facing it.
Quiet optimism. Wow.
Why? Because you never know who might be watching on the other end, or what interpretation they might put on a flicker of doubt, maybe a frown, or even just a neutral look. It's external conformity that forces internal policing. It just actively erodes any sense of a private self, because that private self is constantly being scrutinized, not just for actions, but for thoughts and emotions.
This external control, it just extends everywhere, right? Even to the government buildings themselves. These 4 colossal pyramidal structures of glittering white concrete.
Yeah, they dominate the skyline.
They don't just stand tall, they soar 300 meters into the air, absolutely dwarfing everything else. Winston can see all 4 from his window. A stark reminder of the party's overwhelming physical presence.
And their names, especially the Newspeak versions, they just highlight the party's deliberate, chilling inversion of reality. It's a masterclass in cognitive dissonance, really.
Okay, break those down for us.
Right. So first you have the Ministry of Truth, or Minitru, supposedly handles news, entertainment, education, fine arts. But as we'll get into, its real job is the systematic falsification of all historical records, all of them.
Right, the opposite of truth.
Exactly. Then the Ministry of Peace, Minipax, what does it do? It concerns itself solely with war, not maintaining peace, but waging endless, perpetual war.
Peace is war. Got it.
Then the Ministry of Plenty, Mini-Plenty, handles economic affairs even while everyone's suffering from perpetual scarcity, rationed food, a miserable quality of life. It manages want, not abundance.
Plenty means scarcity.
But maybe the most frightening, as Winston himself thinks, is the Ministry of Love, Minilove. This is law and order, responsible for crushing dissent, and it's described with no windows at all.
Chilling.
Protected by barbed wire, steel doors, hidden machine gun nests, patrolled by these gorilla-faced guards in black uniforms armed with jointed truncheons. It's a place of pure terror, designed not just to punish, but to break the individual spirit, to force love for Big Brother.
Love through terror.
This constant glaring contradiction in the names and functions forces party members into this state of doublethink long before we even learn the term properly. It's foundational to their psychological control.
Wow. Okay, so living in this world, Winston's daily existence, it's just profound deprivation, constant physical discomfort. His appearance even tells a story. Smallish, frail figure, his meagerness emphasized by blue overalls, that drab party uniform.
Utilitarian.
His skin is roughened by coarse soap and blunt razor blades in the cold of the winter. Every detail seems designed to diminish, to wear you down, strip away any dignity or comfort. It feels deliberate, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely deliberate. The quality of life for outer party members is just abysmal. Food is scarce. A typical meal is just a hunk of dark-colored bread, maybe some synthetic coffee.
Sounds awful.
Cigarettes are so poorly made, the tobacco fell out if you held them wrong. Clothing's ragged. Rooms are always underheated. The whole environment is dirty. Greasy grime in every crack. A sourish composite smell hanging in the air. This isn't just poverty, it's engineered deprivation.
And then there's the infamous victory gin. Orwell describes it with a sickly, oily smell, as of Chinese rice spirit. Notes it's like nitric acid to swallow. Causes tears and a sensation of being hit on the back of the head. Yet for a brief, brutal moment, it brings temporary cheer, a fleeting, almost desperate escape. It's the only solace available, bitter and unpleasant, but maybe necessary to cope.
A necessary coping mechanism in that grim reality,
Yeah.
And these physical discomforts are constant for Winston. That varicose ulcer, throbbing relentlessly, violent coughing fits when he wakes up.
Rough start to the day.
Shooting pains from the mandatory physical jerks exercises, which he has to do under the telescreen's eye, of course.
Of course.
This deliberate impoverishment serves a strategic purpose. It keeps people so focused on basic survival, on enduring discomfort, on the body's immediate needs, that they have little energy or time or inclination left for dissent, critical thought, rebellion.
Just trying to get through the day.
Exactly. The party provides just enough to survive, but never enough to thrive or even feel comfortable. It limits thought beyond immediate physical need. It's physiological control, really.
And is within this crushing daily reality, this engineered degradation that something starts to stir in Winston, this ancestral memory.
Yeah, that's a fascinating concept.
It's a nagging feeling of being cheated, a deep sense that life had once been different, even though he has no clear memory of it, can't prove it, can't articulate it, but the feeling persists. It's this flicker, however vague, that seems to begin his dangerous internal rebellion. It's like a testament to the stubbornness of the human spirit, maybe, even when everything tries to extinguish it.
Absolutely. That little ember of doubt, that gut feeling.
Okay, so that ancestral memory, that gnawing feeling that things should be different, it brings us right to the heart of the party's grip. Their absolute control over information, thought, society itself, the ministry of truth, minute true. It's not about reporting facts, is it?
Not even close. It's about actively, continuously rewriting them. Winston's job, his daily grind, is the systematic alteration of all historical records, newspapers, books, films, photos, to align perfectly with whatever the party line is today.
Think about that. His whole day is just erasing objective truth.
And it's not just censorship, like holding back info. It's active, ongoing, complete fabrication of reality. Old documents that contradict the current line, they get tossed down memory holes.
Memory holes, right.
Physical tubes where paper gets whirled away to enormous furnaces deep underground. History in Oceania isn't a record to consult. It's a palimpsest, scraped clean and reinscribed exactly as often as was necessary.
A palimpsest, like an old scroll they reused.
Exactly. But here, the party makes sure no trace of the original writing remains. It's gone. Forever.
The sheer scale of it is just staggering. Orwell tells us a single issue of the Times might be rewritten a dozen times to reflect the latest party line or prophecy, which could change daily.
Daily, yeah, depending on who they're at war with this week or what production figures they need to invent.
And once it's done, there's no original copy, no physical evidence to contradict the new version. It's like the past literally ceases to exist, except in the party's version. It creates this perpetual, disorienting present where the party is always right.
We see this with unpersons like Comrade Withers. Poof! Erased from all records he never existed. His name, face, contributions wiped clean.
Terrifying.
Or, the opposite, the creation of completely fabricated heroes like Comrade Ogilvy. His life is invented from nothing. Refused toys except a drum and gun at age 3, joined the spies early, denounced his uncle, designed a hand grenade, died heroically.
All made up.
Every detail meticulously constructed, yet presented as absolute, undeniable truth. It's not just propaganda. It shows the party can create reality out of thin air. It makes you question every fact, every memory you have.
Which leads directly to that chilling party slogan. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past.
It's the bedrock.
It's not just political power. It's absolute ideological dominion. It makes objective truth meaningless because truth is just whatever the party says it is right now. If they rewrite history, they dictate the future based on a manufactured past.
But the control isn't just over history. It extends to the tool of thought itself, language. Yeah. And this is where newspeak comes in, one of Orwell's most profound and terrifying inventions.
Yeah, newspeak. Tell us about that.
Well, Syme, this newspeak expert Winston knows, he explains it pretty bluntly. The whole aim of newspeak is to narrow the range of thought. The ultimate goal, Syme says chillingly, is to make thought crime literally impossible because there will be no words in which to express it.
Wow. Not just what you can't say, but what you can't even think.
Exactly. Think about that. Syme says every concept will eventually be just exactly one word with its meaning rigidly defined and all its subsidiary meanings rubbed out and forgotten.
So no nuance.
None. They even simplify grammar. Think becomes both noun and verb. Cut is replaced by using knife as a verb. Adjectives get these simple suffixes like awful, speedful, instead of fast or quick and wise, for adverbs good wise, instead of well. It's designed to be blunt, efficient, and just devoid of subtlety.
Why? What's the point of making language so basic?
The purpose is chillingly clear, as Syme puts it. Orthodoxy means not thinking, not needing to think. Orthodoxy is unconsciousness. The words themselves are crafted to encourage this gabbling style of speech, at once staccato and monotonous.
Gabbling.
Yeah, like automatic verbalization that almost bypasses conscious thought. Words from the B vocabulary, political words like mini-pax, prolifeed, sex crime, joy camp, ingsoc.
Ingsoc, English socialism, right?
Right, the party ideology. Also belly feel, think pull. They're short, clipped, easy to pronounce, designed for automatic, unthinking agreement. Political judgments just sprayed out automatically like bullets with no real internal reflection.
So it's not just limiting what you can say, it's making it impossible to even conceive of a dissenting thought.
Syme genuinely believes heresy will become well-nigh impossible, because the words to formulate unorthodox opinions just won't exist. You won't have the mental tools, the vocabulary, to question the party line, let alone express a nuanced critique. Your mind literally won't have the architecture for it.
Yeah, deeply disturbing.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so this ties into their broader social engineering and constant surveillance then.
Absolutely. It all interconnects. One really insidious element is Crime Stop.
Crime Stop.
It's defined as the faculty of stopping short, as though by instinct, at the threshold of any dangerous thought, like a form of protective stupidity, an internal censor that party members are trained to develop from childhood.
So you stop yourself before you even think the wrong thing.
Exactly. You preemptively shut down any thought that might lead somewhere undesirable.
And speaking of childhood,
Hmm.
the party actively uses kids as informants,
Right.
the spies.
Oh, yeah. Organizations like the Spies turn them into these ungovernable little savages. Their natural childhood ferocity and loyalty are just turned outwards against enemies of the state. Foreigners, traitors, thought criminals.
That's terrifying. Kids denouncing their own parents.
It happens. Mrs. Parsons' kids are eager to turn anyone in, even for funny shoes. Orwell states bluntly, people over 30 are frightened of their own children. Family trust, completely dismantled. Every home is a potential trap.
Unbelievable. So this destruction of family loyalty feeds into the big party rituals, like the 2 minutes hate.
Directly. The 2 minutes hate is this mandatory daily ritual. A hideous grinding speech blares from the telescreens featuring Emmanuel Goldstein,
The big enemy.
the perpetual scapegoat, the enemy of the people.
Right.
Depicted with a lean Jewish face, fuzzy white hair, goatee, sheep-like voice, advocating forbidden ideas like freedom of speech. He's the ultimate manufactured villain, a lightning rod for all frustrations.
And the experience itself sounds intense.
Visceral and terrifying. You hear uncontrollable exclamations of rage. People feel a hideous ecstasy of fear and vindictiveness, a desire to kill, to torture, to smash faces in with a sledgehammer.
Even Winston gets caught up in it.
He does. Despite his dissent, he finds himself swept up, sometimes hating Big Brother, sometimes feeling this dangerous sympathy for Goldstein. It shows how easily abstract rage can be switched, how emotion can be manufactured and redirected, mass psychological manipulation.
And it ends with that chant.
Yeah, a deep, slow, rhythmical chant of BBBB. It's described as an act of self-hypnosis, a deliberate drowning of consciousness by means of rhythmic noise. A collective ritual to suppress individuality, absorb everyone into the party's will. Individual thought becomes impossible in that moment.
Sensory overload.
Totally. And any deviation from this collective conformity is dangerous, even the idea of own life.
Own life, what's that?
It signifies individualism, eccentricity, liking solitude, having personal hobbies not approved by the party. To be alone, to have private space, is to be free, to think, reflect, form independent opinions. And that's the gravest threat to a regime demanding total control, inside and out.
Right. Can't have people thinking for themselves. Okay, so in this suffocating world, any spark of individuality becomes rebellion, right? However small.
Exactly. And for Winston, this dangerous journey starts with that forbidden diary he buys in a junk shop.
The beautiful book with creamy paper.
A real relic, a luxury. He knows, even empty, it was a compromising possession. Just owning a private object like that is defiance.
This first entry.
Scrawled almost involuntarily, down with Big Brother, he gets it immediately. This is thought crime, and thought crime is as death.
Just writing it, formulating dissent on paper is a huge act of resistance when even thoughts are policed. It's asserting his inner world, radical self-ownership. And maybe his most dangerous tool is just his memory, trying to remember the past.
Yeah, he struggles relentlessly to recall a factual past, to check if that ancestral memory is real. Physical objects become crucial, like that photo of Jones, Aronson, and Rutherford he once saw.
The proof of falsification.
Documentary proof. It showed their confessions were lies. He thinks, if the same thing happened today, I should keep it. He desperately wants tangible proof against the party's lies, proof that could make 2 + 2 = 4, an objective fact, not just party policy. It's a fight for objective reality itself.
Even tiny fragments of old culture become acts of defiance, like that nursery rhyme.
Oranges and lemons, yeah.
Yeah.
Recalled with Mr. Charrington, the junk shop owner, it gives Winston the illusion of actually hearing bells, the bells of a lost London. a connection to a forgotten past, echoing beneath the party's reality. These small things hold huge symbolic weight. They hint that history did exist outside the party, that another life was possible.
This quest for reality, for an authentic past, it leads him to think about the proles, right? The masses.
The proletariat, yeah. 85% of the population. He holds this deep, almost desperate conviction. If there is hope, it lies in the proles.
Boy, him.
He believes if they chose, they could blow the party to pieces tomorrow morning. They have the numbers, the potential power. They're the unconscious hope if only they could realize it.
But do they?
Well, their reality, as Orwell shows it, is more complex, more tragic. They're largely ignorant of their power, distracted, pacified by meaningless entertainment, trivial news, cheap fiction, porn.
Keeping them numb.
Basically, there's that anecdote about the saucepan riot. Hundreds of women erupt in this huge shout of anger over flimsy tin saucepans.
Right.
But their collective anger just disperses into petty individual squabbles. Their energy is misdirected, focused on immediate trivial stuff, diffuse unchanneled rage.
But ironically, they have more freedom in some way.
Relatively speaking, yeah. Compared to party members. No constant telescreen surveillance, not held to the same strict orthodoxy. They can drink gin, consort with prostitutes, things forbidden or frowned upon for party members.
The party allows that.
Seems like they tacitly encourage it as long as it's furtive and joyless. An outlet for basic instincts that can't be totally suppressed. It also associates unruliness with a despised, unthinking class, reinforcing party discipline.
So their freedom is another form of control.
In its own way, yes. Minds distracted by trivia, preventing critical thought or collective consciousness. Winston's chat with that old man in the pub is heartbreaking.
What happens there?
Winston tries to get memories of the pre-revolutionary past out of him, but the old man can only recall minor details, the price of beer, top hats, he just keeps saying, it's all wars. No grasp of larger societal shifts, just fragments. It shows the party's success in controlling memory, even among those not actively indoctrinated.
Wow. But Winston still finds some kind of hope in them.
A different kind. He realizes they had stayed human. They were loyal to one another. They held on to primitive emotions, loyalty, love, curiosity, connection things. Winston, as a party member, has to consciously relearn. They have an instinctual humanity the party tried to stamp out in its own members.
Okay, so into this desperate landscape comes Julia. And she represents a different kind of rebellion.
Totally different. Winston's first impression of her is just deep dislike, even suspicion. He sees her as a bigoted adherent of the party, zealous, maybe even thought police, because she wears that sash.
He actually hates her at first.
Hates her, feels this urge to smash her face in. It's visceral, born of fear and resentment.
Until the note.
The turning point, one of the novel's most electric moments. She slips him that note, I love you!
Yeah.
Just like that. Unexpected, deeply dangerous. It shatters Winston's world, plunges him into this forbidden, exhilarating intimacy, a real human connection in a world designed to stop it.
And her rebellion is pragmatic, not like Winston's.
Fundamentally pragmatic. Her philosophy,
Yeah.
break the rules and stay alive. She's not interested in overthrowing the party or analyzing its ideology. She uses cunning, boldness, her understanding of people not intellectual descent to carve out pockets of personal freedom and pleasure.
Her motivation is simpler.
Much simpler. She wanted a good time. They wanted to stop you having it. It's a rebellion of the body, of pleasure, a defiant pursuit of personal happiness.
And for her, sex itself is rebellion.
A direct blow against party puritanism. She gets it intuitively. The sexual act, successfully performed, was rebellion. Desire was thought crime. The party's sexual puritanism isn't about morality. It's designed to channel the sex instinct into war fever and leader worship.
So having sex for pleasure undermines that.
Directly. She reclaims a fundamental human experience for personal joy, not party devotion.
But she doesn't care about the party's lies, the history stuff.
Not really. What's fascinating is her disinterest in party doctrine or the past. She accepts official myths if they don't affect her directly. Believes the party invented airplanes. Doesn't care who they're at war with this week. Yeah, she just shrugs. Who cares? It's always one bloody war after another, and one knows the news is all lies anyway. This pragmatic indifference lets her survive, sure, but it also shows her disconnection from the bigger ideological struggle consuming Winston. She doesn't care about objective truth, just navigating the system for pleasure.
And their hiding place? The room above the shop?
Mr. Charrington's shop, yeah. It becomes their secure hiding place, a literal pocket of the past. A sanctuary seemingly untouched by the party's gaze, at least for a while.
A place for real things.
Real commodities,
Yeah.
sugar, white bread, jam, coffee, luxuries unknown to party members. In this illicit haven, Winston's desire for Julia changes, right? From just sensuality to deep tenderness, a longing for a normal married life the party denies. That space, without a telescreen, allows real connection, intimate talk, a brief, fragile taste of normalcy and freedom. Utterly subversive.
But can't last.
No. That desperate quest for connection, for truth, it inevitably leads Winston into the party's ultimate control mechanism, the ministry of love.
And O'Brien,
Yeah.
the man Winston hoped was the resistance.
Exactly. Winston clung to that hope for so long that O'Brien, the mysterious inner party member, was part of the Brotherhood. He remembered that dream. We shall meet in the place where there is no darkness.
But O'Brien was playing him.
Meticulously cultivating that hope. Their meeting seems to confirm Winston's wish. O'Brien even uses his privilege to turn it off the telescreen, creating this false intimacy.
So Winston and Julia confess everything.
Believing they're finally joining the resistance, yeah. They make a full, damning confession. We are enemies of the party. We disbelieve in the principles of Ingsoc. We are thought criminals. We are also adulterers. They lay themselves bare, ready to sacrifice everything.
But it's a trap.
A meticulously orchestrated sting. O'Brien gives them this catechism, terrifying questions, willing to murder, sabotage, commit suicide, betray. They agree to everything, convinced it's for the cause.
Is there anything they won't do?
The one thing they refuse: to separate and never see one another again. Their last fragile hold on their shared humanity, on love, on their identities.
And then the trap springs.
With brutal efficiency. Mr. Charrington, the kind old shop owner, revealed as a member of the thought police.
No.
Yeah. The glass paperweight, that symbol of their secret world, their link to the past. Smashed. Its contents spilling out like their hopes. Julia's taken away. Winston's nightmare begins. The doors of the Ministry of Love close behind him.
The Ministry of Love. It's not about rehabilitation, is it?
Not even close. It's where individuality is utterly systematically destroyed. Starts with brutal physical torture. Beatings with fists, truncheons, steel rods, boots. Winston recalls the immense pain from a blow to the elbow, agony overriding all thought, will, resistance.
It's pure pain.
The goal isn't just confession that's easy. It's to break the spirit, show absolute power over the body, reduce the individual to a suffering animal, strip away all dignity, all self-worth.
But the psychological part is worse.
Far more insidious. Winston endures merciless questioning by party intellectuals. These little rotund men with quick movements and flashing spectacles. Calculated humiliation, sleep deprivation, refusing basic needs, designed to break him down more completely than the boots and fists.
And O'Brien's there through all this.
Ever present, both tormentor and friend. Inquisitor and supposed savior. He controls everything, asking questions, suggesting answers, creating this inescapable presence that just blurs reality. He makes Winston confess to impossible crimes implicating everyone.
And the logic is twisted.
Terrifyingly so. O'Brien imposes it. In the eyes of the party, there was no distinction between the thought and the deed. Just thinking, it is the crime.
What's the ultimate goal? Not just obedience.
No. O'Brien reveals it in their chilling talks. It's not just forced confession, not just obedience. It's sincere belief. Genuine conviction. Winston must not just say the words. He must genuinely believe the party's truth, however contradictory. And most terrifyingly, he must develop an unshakable love of Big Brother.
Transform dissent into devotion.
That's the apex of their manipulation, which leads to O'Brien's lessons on reality, control, and doublethink, the philosophical core of the party's power.
Okay, what's the core principle there?
Utterly nihilistic. Reality exists in the human mind and nowhere else. Only in the mind of the party, which is collective and immortal. Whatever the party holds to be the truth is truth. No objective reality. No external facts. Truth is a collective construct dictated entirely by the party.
The 5 fingers test.
The famous example, O'Brien holds up 4 fingers, insists Winston see 5. Sometimes Winston, sometimes they are 5. Sometimes they are 3, sometimes they are all of them at once. It's an assault on logic, on empirical evidence, on a shared, verifiable world.
They deny everything. Science, history.
Everything. O'Brien denies the age of the Earth, fossils, the distance of stars, claims the party can create a dual system of astronomy, if needed. He tells Winston, we create human nature. Men are infinitely malleable.
And everyone else.
The proles. Helpless, like the animals. Humanity is the party. The others are outsider, irrelevant. It dehumanizes everyone but the party. claims complete dominion over consciousness, even physics.
And the motive. Why do all this?
O'Brien lays it bare. No pretense of a better world, no utopia. The party seeks power entirely for its own sake. Not wealth or luxury or long life or happiness. Only power, pure power.
Power is the goal.
Power is not a means, it is an end. And the horrifying finality, the object of persecution is persecution. The object of torture is torture. The object of power is power. An endless, self-justifying cycle of dominance, power for power's sake forever.
Which leads to Room 101.
The pinnacle of the breaking process. O'Brien explains everyone has a worse thing in the world, their ultimate fear.
And for Winston, it's rats.
His deepest recurring nightmare, O'Brien uses it. Describes this cage, designed to fit over Winston's face, filled with starving rats ready to shoot out of it like bullets, attack his eyes, burrow through his cheeks.
Stop. That's horrific.
The terror is palpable, physical agony, and it's here, facing this absolute worst fear, this imminent, agonizing destruction, that Winston reaches the moment of ultimate betrayal.
What does he do?
He screams, a desperate, animalistic plea. Do it to Julia. Do it to Julia, not me, Julia. I don't care what you do to her.
Oh, my God.
That's the party's chilling triumph, breaking even the strongest human bonds, severing the most profound connections by targeting the deepest primal fear. It proves there are no limits. They can make you betray who you love most, destroying the last bits of your independent self.
So after Room 101, what happens to him?
He undergoes a physical recovery, gets a sinecure job, high pay, little effort, but he's utterly dependent on Victorygen now. It's the element he swam in, a constant stupor to dull his broken mind, keep him from thinking, feeling. His spirit is crushed.
Does he see Julia again?
He does,
Yeah.
eventually, in a park.
Yeah.
They mutually admit their betrayal that moment in Room 101 when they sacrificed each other. But the connection, the spark, the love, it's completely gone. After that, Julia says, just matter-of-factly, you don't feel the same towards the other person any longer. The party succeeded. Not just making them betray each other, but cauterizing the capacity for deep, independent human emotion. They're empty shells.
So Winston's final state is complete submission.
Utterly complete. He practices doublethink effortlessly now. His mind is perfectly aligned with the party's truth, whatever it is today. That thought he scribbled, 2 + 2 = 4. No longer a certainty. It's flexible. A party truth.
Where does the book leave him?
Sitting in the Chestnut Tree Cafe, playing chess against himself, seeing Big Brother's face in the pieces. The party's triumph is absolute, internal. Winston Smith, the rebel, the truth seeker, gone. Instead, the final, heartbreaking lines, the healing change has come. He loved Big Brother. Mind reprogrammed, individuality obliterated.
Wow, okay. So we've taken quite the deep dive into Orwell's 1984. We've looked at the bleak reality, the party's chilling grip on, well, everything.
Information, thought?
The desperate attempts at forbidden bonds, and the ultimate devastating destruction of individuality in the Ministry of Love. We've seen how this novel just masterfully delves into these huge, timeless themes: truth, memory, love, power. And the terrifying potential for totalitarian control that wants to annihilate the human spirit.
Yeah, we've explored the profound fragility of objective reality, haven't we? The insidious power of language manipulation with newspeak.
Right.
And the pervasive psychological effects of constant surveillance, thought crime, crime stop, that mastery of doublethink. And we've really understood, I think, how the party's singular, horrifying aim is just power for its own sake. No ideology, no utopia, just power.
And even decades later, Orwell's warnings, they just resonate with this urgent, almost unsettling clarity in our own world today, don't they?
Disturbingly so.
When you think about information control, suppressing critical thinking, challenges to liberty and privacy in the digital age, Orwell's vision feels eerily, disturbingly familiar. It forces us to ask tough questions about our own susceptibility.
That chilling image he leaves us with. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. It's unforgettable, a stark reminder of the constant vigilance needed to safeguard our freedoms, our truths, our very humanity.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's maybe a provocative thought for you to take away. What aspects of your own reality, your own memories, or even your own language might be subtly shaped or constrained without you even noticing? How do we, as individuals and as a society, actively ensure that 2 + 2 always equals 4, even when that uncomfortable truth might challenge convenience or prevailing narratives or, comfortable illusions? What are you doing to protect your own mind?
Subscribe to the Timeless Tales podcast. Your stories, your time.